Everyone loves getting me money. Everything is past to give me money. Every second of the day, everyone conspires to make me wealthy all day, every day.
Alright, so I just turned on the mic, extend this out fully. I gotta see if the music is too loud. Where's the window? Okay. Alright, y'all. Let me figure this out. I don't know if my volume is good or what the hell's going on with it. Alright, we're gonna hope and pray that everything's good. Fuck, I'm streaming on the wrong. I'm gonna have to fix that. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to fix that. Alright, so we're going live. Alright, so when it comes to CPNs, you want to have an idea of what you're doing essentially before you jump in and say, hey, you know what, I'm going I'm going to get a CPN because my credit's bad. If your credit's bad, think for the likes. If your credit's bad, you have two options. You could go through credit monitoring, which credit monitoring could take 6 months to 2 years based on how bad you've ruined your credit. Now, when you hear individuals say, CPNs are illegal, you have to think like, if you go into witness protection, what identity do you believe they're giving you when you're in witness protection? So, um, stuff like that is where you gotta start thinking. If CPNs are such a bad thing, how's it that, if you got into certain situations, they're basically giving you a new identity? Like, thank you for the likes. So going forward, every time I get on these lives, I'm gonna be educating y'all on CPNs versus credit, because honest to God, I'm so sick of everybody calling everything fraud. Like, start looking at shit from an open perspective of why is it your oppressors, if you want to label it that? Why are we gonna be okay to know that there's a tool, if used correctly, not everybody gonna be broke. Like, think long term, you feel me? So, um, when it comes to CPNs, again, you don't know who's gonna be a good person. You don't know who's gonna be a bad person. You can't judge who's not gonna screw up in the aspect of using the CPN for bad. It's not it's not for you essentially to say because a person uses the CPN that they're evil, or whatever the hell I've heard individuals get labeled. So, or they label them what's like, they downplay the person's characteristics and shit, or they'll say like, oh, only broke people use CPNs, and I'm like, what? Stop the ignorant bullshit. Like, that's not how CPNs work. What's up, Becky? You outside? What? Okay, okay. So pretty much, guys, when you get into the CPN world, everything is legal unless you do something illegal. That's the only way you're gonna get into trouble. The CPN is not a social security. However, you take care of the CPN like you do your social security. So how come you can't go into screen? Damn. Bomb. Dope, dope. What you up to for the rest of the night? Damn. All right. So what was that? All right, y'all. So when it comes to the CPN numbers, it's 9 digits, just like your social. Only difference, it's a brand new number. When I say brand new number, it's not a number that's linked to someone that's deceased, or anyone that's a child. So this is cool, Quinn. So you want to be able to know where you're getting your CPN from. A lot of individuals on TikTok, like, I watch their segments. To feel me, like, I can't say who is building the CPNs correct, because when it comes to knowing if it's built correct, you personally got to be building it yourself, or the person that's doing it. So, yes, you can use the CPN, but it's only for credit purposes. So if you're doing government related shit, do not use the CPN. I've heard of other individuals saying, "Hey, I used the CPN. They got into what's the thing that the government shit? what do government, um, the houses and stuff that the government does, I would never tell you to use a CPN with that because, again, you're now bridging certain aspects of life that I personally wouldn't do. With that being said, you want to make sure that um, individuals that are pretty much trying to rebuild their credit, rebuild their life, those are the people where CPNs are going to be helpful. So, for example, you gotta, you're about to get evicted. You know you're going to get evicted. Why do you wait, a week, 2 weeks to say, hey, I need to get a place. Can I get a CPN? Yes, you can do that. To be honest, you could fucking make a CPN today. Today's what? Wednesday? Today's Tuesday, Wednesday? By Monday, Tuesday of next week, you could be in a place with a CPN that's made correctly. However, that's putting money into the CPN. So with that being said, that's adding a trade line, because now that institutions are onto the fact that everybody and their mom is now pushing CPNs, they want to make sure, like, hey, you're a real person. So when someone says, are you a real person? What the fuck is a real person, guys? Like, a real person is you and me. What do we have that America loves, but they crucify us for? Debt. America fucking loves debt. People don't understand. Like, yo, you can have the shittiest fucking credit. However, add some trade lines to it. It's gonna, in their eyes, you look better than the person who doesn't have credit at all. So when I build your profile, if your name's Jane Doe and you're 35, you're Jane Doe 35. However, you now have an awesome fucking credit score. So if you're Jane Doe and your regular credit's like 400, 500, you have evictions, refills, your credit's fucked. That's where I fucking come in, because based on what's on your credit, I'm educating you on, hey, you know what? CPNs might not be your best option. Just fix your credit. People that's out here selling y'all CPNs, most of these people don't be speaking to y'all to know, hey, you probably don't fucking need a CPN. Fix your credit, then venture into the CPN if necessary. So let's jump on in with what you need for your CPN. Like, this is free fucking game, and please, if you're watching on the outside, come in, ask your questions, because y'all love to fucking hit my inbox. Then when I say, hey, it's a consultation, it turns into a problem for a consultation fee. So, when you're doing your CPN, whatever name you choose to go by, that's what's going to be on your CPN. So, rule of thumb, your first name, last name, middle name, whatever is on your driver's license, put that on your CPN, so that way you're able to use that information. So you would have your date of birth, same date of birth. If you're a felon, please let me know you're a felon, because if you went to jail, even though I'm giving you a new CPN number, if you have a charge, that charge is tied to your date of birth, and you don't want that type of pressure. So you just notify the person that's making your CPN, hey, I have a charge. That's also how you know if hold on, y'all, let me let me do it. Ah. All right. So once you put the name that you desire, right? At that point, from there, you want to go ahead and the date of birth is, of course, is gonna be your date of birth. Your address. You don't want to use the address that you've been associated with. That's another misconception. If these individuals are providing you with the addresses, ask questions. You feel me? Like, not saying that's a bad thing essentially, but you want to know, like, hey, do I have access to the address? Do I not have access to the address? If so, then why not? That type of conversations. From there, whatever previous address you've ever been associated with, do not use that address at all anytime you're doing applications or anything else. Why? It's going to possibly link back to your social. So you don't want that at all. All right. So from there, you want to make sure that you know you can't just get your social security, create the profile, and depend on how you create the profile, you got to be aware that you never want to link anything. So even if hey, your name's Linda Brown, and you worked at Comcast, you've never worked at Comcast. So when you're putting in that CPN information, even though what's up, you don't put anything that's related to your social security in reference to the CPN. Why? That's a whole new number. That's a whole new entity. So with you going through the process of getting a whole new CPN number, why would you want to have that number linked to anything related to what you used to do? Would not make sense. So definitely keep that in mind when you're doing the CPNs. Next, a lot of individuals, there's different processes for creating a CPN. That information you want to get into, connect with me. I do have the ebook that breaks down everything when it comes to CPNs and the different methods that you're able to use. It also like breaks down if how you profile should look after the fact. So all of that information is listed. Also, you want to be able to register your CPN. If your CPN's done correctly, when you register your CPN, guess what? You now have your CPN and your social security to run. This is why I need y'all to start thinking, like, use me as your example. Again, I got hurt March 10, 2024. I got hit, brain damage, broke my neck, all types of bullshit. I'm surviving. I'm not gonna say, hey, I don't have fucking medical bills and shit hitting the fuck out of my credit. However, before I got hurt, I already had that financial literacy to say, hey, this needs to be in place. And if it's crazy, I always said, if I ever get hurt, the person I'm with should never have to worry about, me and taking care of me. So yes, I'm happy as fuck I had a CPN, and I'm happy as fuck I had good credit, because how else do you survive? God bless you. Thank you. Oh, Raquel, how are you? Queen, I love your content. I definitely your cooking videos is also hands down trying it over the weekend with my brother. But love your content, and it gives me ideas to be outside the box, especially with my new disabilities and shit. So I appreciate this. I appreciate you running across my timeline when you did. Everything happens for a reason. But yeah, guys, like when it comes to the CPN, if it's illegal, how are you able to register with the IRS? Like, I don't want. I love to say I have a safe space, but I still have to be open mind to skin color and race is a thing. I'm black and America, so guess what? A majority of the people that get on social media that promote CPNs that look like me, where they promoting flashy shit, how they're getting money. They're not telling you the back end shit to it, but when the government gets involved, who are the people that look bad, or who are the people that they say, oh, they're scam men? Thank you for hearts. Like, look at how they depict black people. Like, I learned CPNs from a white doctor. Never forget. Taught me how to build a CPN, how to use it, and I remember saying to him, like, growing up in a black Jamaican family, oh, you're black in America. Oh, you need to apply yourself. Oh, this. Oh, they're so indoctrinated with working hard to us. Like, if they're not working, they don't feel good about themselves. So here it is when I met this doctor, and he's educating me on life. Life is not supposed to be hard. Like, let me show you. Let me guide you. And that's when my CPN journey started. Now, when you're doing your CPN, like I said, build it out regular person. Have your annual income. Range it like you range your regular income, 50 to 90K. When they ask you, that's your job, guys, fill shit out just like you fill your fill stuff out just like how you fill out your regular applications and stuff like that. Now, like, don't overthink the process, and I believe that's where a lot of individuals, we get caught up, we get stuck. Don't get stuck. When you're processing your personal detail, and keep in mind, you're you. So if your job pays you 60K right now, put 60K on the application. Why? You're you. From there, when they ask time on your job, 5 years or more, like, you want to always give yourself longevity. Longevity is what's gonna keep you propelling with your CPN. You're able to get a checking account and a savings account with your CPN, depending on the banking institution. Also, use your common sense, guys. If you are currently at Wells Fargo, which just Social Security, why would you take the CPN to Wells Fargo? Doesn't make sense. So start thinking outside the box. If you have your CPN with I'm sorry, if you have your social security with a particular company, don't go using your CPN at that company. Also, like, that's not smart. All right, so from there, you fill out your applications like regular. Um, if they ask you if you own your house, or if you making payments, yes, you pay rent. So 500 to 1,000, whatever the y'all don't be filling out applications for like credit cards and shit. That same information, take that, transmute it, and put that on put that on your application information. From there, you want to go ahead and create public records. All right, child, my back is killing me. Hold on. See, every time that disconnects my monitor, and there goes all my monitors. Huh. Why did that just hold on, y'all? Bruh. See, my whole entire screen just went blank. Bro, y'all, my whole entire setup just went out. Come on, bro. It never fails. All right, so it's official. My table apparently is not once it goes I believe once it goes up, that's it. Damn, bro, my back is killing me. But any my monitors, bruh. I knew better. All right, y'all. Back. Wow. All right. So, um, like I was saying, so from there, you want to go ahead, register your CPN. When you register your CPN, you're basically putting it with public records. So it doesn't matter where you got your CPN from. You need public records. If you don't have public records, depending on what they're doing when they run your information for your CPN, it can come back and basically ask for more validating information, because why? They can't find who say you are. So that is something definitely got to keep that in mind. All right. Also, if you need the places to register the CPN, tap in. All of that stuff is in the ebook when it's time to go through. And if you're making your CPN, all that is in the ebook also. So you do have the ability to to do that. Now, from there, I do go over how to get a score. So that is something that you definitely want to look into. Now, with that being said, you want to have basic rules that you're living by. You feel me? Like, you never allow your new and your old credit profiles to mix. Like, don't ever apply for anything and not double check information to make sure it's your actual information. Why? Let's say you go to a dealership, right? When you go to a dealership, the dealership's not checking to make sure you are you. So what the dealership's going to do is the dealership, they will basically copy all the information from your driver's license. Remember, the information on the driver's license is different from your social. I'm sorry, yeah, different from your social and your CPN. So you want to be sure that you're doing the right information by not mixing your credit profile by having the dealership take care of your car or something along those lines. Building your credit score, just like your regular social, you have to put in work or add trade lines. If you need rental history, that's the same process for when they ask. I have a ad that's posted that says rental history. That basically adds rental history to either your CPN or your social. Whatever you need, we pretty much got you covered. Alright, so for frequently asked questions, what is the CPN number? The CPN stands for credit profile number, or a credit protection number. It's 9 digits, and it's established at the credit bureau level for credit transactions. It's not linked to the government, and it's not a social security number, a EIN number, or a TIN number. Yes, it can be registered with the IRS. Please keep in mind, all the CPN number is a 9-digit number that's used to create a new credit profile within the credit bureau system to build credit. That's all it is. So no, you cannot file for taxes. Don't do anything that you do with your social with the CPN, being that your social security, you're paying you pay it can be dividends. We basically pay out on our social and everything else. So we don't do that with the CPN. So that's why you don't want to link it. Our CPN's illegal. Having a CPN is legal, but claiming the CPN number is a social security number is illegal. It's not a social security number. So you could have a second credit profile with the credit bill system without any issues. Many people, they choose not to give it out their social security numbers in fear of fraud, identity stuff, or just to protect their privacy. It's all based on how you choose to use the CPN. But if you're concerned with fraud, or your profile being used with your social security, you would use your CPN number in lieu of social security. It's your legal right to keep your social security number private and use a separate number for credit related purposes. Keyword credit related purposes. You're only required by law to disclose your social security number to the IRS, your employer, and most recently, because of Patriot Act, you're not having to register your motor vehicles. Bro, when you start to learn life laws, you'll see how, the sovereign citizens and everything else, how America is literally just built on, if you can make a rule, enough individuals can follow the rules, then you're good to go, essentially, because all they do is put rules in place, the rules get broken, they come up with another set of rules, like registering your motor vehicle, you feel me? Turning that also into a debt that you haven't if you're living in the US, it's like you're bound to pay something always. So yeah, just be careful with the aspect of that. But yeah, based on the 1974 Patriot Act, you only required to give your social security number for employment tax purposes, to get a driver's license, to register your car, and to receive public assistance. This is why I emphasize, do not use a CPN with any government institution. Don't do it. They already have your social security. Continue with your social security. Once you start doing anything government related, social security. So, you can legally refuse to disclose your social security number for any purpose. All right. Now, keep in mind, if you decide to not use your social security number, these businesses can choose to not do business with you. Like, everybody has a choice. What's a validated social security number? Pretty much the misconception with the social security number is that it should be validated. It's not a social security number, and it's not linked to the government. Therefore, they should never be validated, because if it's validated, that means it's somebody's actual number. Again, when you're buying CPNs from certain individuals, you don't know what you're buying, if it's the actual credit profile number or if it's someone's actual social security. So those are different things that you have to look into. If the number does validate, that means that is actual someone's real social, so you can get in trouble for that. A real CPN number, as I state, will never validate, because again, it's not a real number, and that number essentially would only be real to the CPN that it's related to, essentially. Hopefully I spelling that correct. Yeah. Alright, so what can I purchase with a CPN number? Now, with the CPN number, a lot of things that you're able to do with it is super awesome. So for individuals, hold on, y'all. I don't know why this doesn't allow you to just mute. It made it but so what can you purchase with the CPN number? So with CPN, you could literally purchase everything and do everything exactly like you do with your social. Oh, after this, we'll hop into pillow talk. Is we're about to hit up 40 minutes on CPNs. So tomorrow we'll pick up and jump back in the rest of it. Now, with that being said, so you can have credit cards, department store cards, small loans, personal loans, apartments, utilities, cell phone, everything that you could sip, which is social, you can do with the CPN. Keep in mind, you want to make sure that you're not mixing your entities. So again, if you already have a particular bank with your social, don't use that bank with your CPN because it's going to merge your profiles. You know, when you get the when you get the loans or the cell phones or any of the items that you get on the CPN, pay the bill. Like legit shit, bro. Most of the individuals that depending on how they have their leasing company set up, they know when you're scamming. Like legit shit. My friends, I have friends that are property managers and shit. Like they're fully aware. But guess what? Everybody got a quote to meet, and a lot of the times they're just trying to fucking make sure that make their numbers. So if the profile's good and you have all the credentials they need, of course you're gonna get approved. But yeah, also when it comes to loans, the more built out your profile is, the better it is for you. And when I say the more built out the profile is, again, think of the CPN like your regular social. If your regular social shit, right, and you get a CPN and you don't build it up, what's gonna happen? The CPN's also going to be shit. So you want to be able to just think long term when it comes to CPNs. Everything you can do with just CPN, you can do with the social security, excluding the stuff that was listed on the don'ts. Just don't fucking do those things. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I have like a longer list stuff don'ts, but overall CPNs aren't illegal. We're gonna pick up part 2 with the CPNs tomorrow. Again, when y'all see me on these lives, jump in, ask your questions. Like, you don't want to pay for the cons, so but you want to come in my inbox, ask 21 questions. I get on these lives. I'm educating you on CPNs with all the knowledge that I have because I don't have nothing to lose. Like, if you shop with me, you shop with me. Like, stop trying to be cheap. This is why y'all get fucked. And then by the time you get to me, it's, oh, well, I paid this person $400 for blank. What? How does that make sense? You feel me? You as a grown ass adult that know you live in a country that requires you to have credit. Why the fuck are you buying a blank profile? Make it make sense. So, please, anytime you see me on these lives, if it's a credit CPN live, hop in. ask your questions. CPNs are not legal. Everything that's illegal is some shit that the government can't control in retrospect. And also, take it back. If it's illegal, how is it that you're doing, you know, the individuals that, identity, not identity, witness protection, all this shit, they are on CPN numbers. It felt me like y'all gotta start thinking. If you're in a fucking witness protection program, they're giving you a new identity. What is that called? So how can a CPN number be, illegal if the government is giving you a CPN number? Guys, come on, make it make sense. You feel me? The only difference is when the government doing your CPN, the government is then registering that number. So remember how I was telling y'all, yes, you can register the CPN with the government, but the minute you register the CPN, what do you have to pay? Taxes, right? So again, this is where it becomes a very sticky situation, based on what you decide to do with the CPN. But I love you guys. You're gonna tap in tomorrow, probably a little bit earlier because Pillow Talk, I believe I have it starting at 8 p.m. During the weeks, so definitely a little bit later. But I love y'all. Thanks to everyone that watched YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, TikTok. Thank y'all. See y'all later. All right, y'all. I really hope that recording. Dang. Damn, where was